Lock Season 2, Episode 8 review. That rhymed. I'm literally rapping right now. Anyways, without further ado, let's get right into this review. I hope you guys hit the like and subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 4,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So please, 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 every single subscribe and every single like really helps my channel out. And without further ado, let's get right into this. First off the bat, what I have to say is, guys, this might be the best episode of this season, and this is up there with one of the best episodes in season 1 too, whether you like it or not. Now, first of all, let me get my complaints out the way first. The first thing I want to complain about is obviously, yes, the lack of animation is, present still with the still frames, with most of the duels that you want to see from the manga animated nicely. That's going to be there for the entire season. I've come to terms with that. But the thing is, they animated the parts where I think we needed animation, and they just leave the parts that we'd want to see animation, but we don't need it to be animated. You know what I mean? They make that still frames in this episode. So I think that that's like tolerable, as long as you get the overall feel of the scene right, I feel like the animation absence doesn't have as much of an impact. You know what I mean? Anyways, my second complaint would be the lack of the crowd. Now, I know the crowd is present in a lot of these scenes, but I think that making the atmosphere more like U20, I think they should make the crowd more like there almost all the time. So it feels like our players aren't just talking in a quiet crowd sometimes, because there's some intervals in this episode where Rin and Isagi are talking, and basically the crowd seems like it's not even there. And that kind of like takes you out the whole feel of, oh my gosh, this is the biggest game of Blue Lock. You know what I mean? I would want the crowd to be there in every single scene, whether it be louder sometimes or not quieter sometimes when they're thinking. Anyways, let's get actually into my thoughts on this episode. So the episode starts right where we left off. Nagi scored, everyone's hype. And right off the bat, you can notice their hairs are actually moving now. If this was in episode 2 of season 2, nothing would be moving in the entire frame, but at least their hair are moving when they jump down, up and down. You know what I mean? That's perfect. Then the U20 Japan go on their attack, and we get the whole sequence with Nico. Nico becoming the watchtower of Blue Lock, and Itoshi Sai versus Itoshi Rin, their first matchup in their duel. Now, this was mostly still frames. It reminded me of when Deku versus Shigaraki was just straight still frames. You guys remember in MHA? But this was basically just like that until the last move that Sei did to nutmeg Rin. That was actually done with pretty good animation, in my opinion. I feel like that was good. The scene hit. The music, that's something that they fixed in this episode. I really like the music in this episode. Last episode, I don't know what type of tracks they were playing. It felt like a practice match, but this episode actually felt like U20. Now, the Nico scene, the Rin scene, this whole sequence here was perfect. I think they did this perfectly, but then again, I have to say the manga did this a lot better, but in terms of the anime standards, they managed to not actually ruin the feel of these scenes from the manga in the anime, so I'm tolerable with it being worse than the manga. But the problem arises when you can't actually adapt the feel, because that's the main thing that's going to make you go, wow. That's the main thing that's going to give you hype while you're watching the episode. If you can't adapt the feel, you're not going to be able to capture my same reaction, and my rating for the overall episode is going to go down. Right after this, though, we get the whole sequence with Blue Lock going on the counterattack, Karasu, Otoya trading passes, and bro, this moment gave me chills. I won't lie, with the OST going crazy, Karasu giving it to, Otoya giving it to Chigiri on the right wing. You guys already know, Chigiri's one of my favorite characters in all of Blue Lock, so I was hyped when I seen this in the manga, and I was hyped when I seen this in the anime. I got chills. The OST was perfect for this scene, and we just see Chigiri blow right by Aiku, show him who's really number one in this shit when it comes to speed. But yeah, that's not all Chigiri does, as he sees Karasu in the middle of the box, or just outside the box, and he crosses the ball into him. Now, like I said, this sequence was also done pretty well. I feel like this sequence is very reminiscent to that sequence when Rin scored that goal on Karasu, and everything was just going slow motion, because Sei ends up intercepting the pass or the cross to Karasu. The ball ricochets off of Sei's feet, goes into the air, drops into Rin's feet, and we get a one-on-one matchup between Rin and Aiku. And Rin actually holds L2 and shoots with circle here, and he uses a Trivela shot to actually fool Aiku and, score with his strong foot and make it 2-1. This entire sequence was done well from the manga. Listen, I don't think it was better than the manga. I do think the manga did all these scenes better. But the problem is that they did not ruin the scenes from the manga. They kept the atmosphere, the music was nice, and you don't need that much animation as long as you keep the feel of these scenes. The next scene we get is Sei basically hyping up the whole U-20 Japan, and they go on their counterattack. Again, this scene was done well. Not better than the manga, but still done well. I've reiterated it plenty of times already. I don't think I have to explain it anymore. That, yeah, this scene while I was watching it, as you can see, you know, they go on their attack. The only thing I kind of had a problem with is the way they adapted, you know, Sei just 2v1ing Bachira and Isagi. I feel like that was just kind of bullshit. But other than that, like, obviously the animation, I don't have high hopes for the animation, all right? And I didn't have high hopes for the other episodes either. But before, it's like the animation, the whole feel of the scene, just animation threw it all off. But this episode, the music and like the whole directing and storyboarding was able to distract me from the fact that the animation was bad. You know what I mean? That's basically what it was. And so that's why this whole Sei shit didn't bother me, but that's like a little nitpick I have. This whole sequence, though, was fine. You know, Sei crosses the ball in. It's a nasty cross to Sendo that Sendo's never going to reach because he's not separated. He's not like that. So then Rin comes in and absolutely dunks all over Sendo's head, says, yo, give me that shit. You're not reaching that. Give me that shit. Absolutely devours Sendo, sends the ball into the air, but then it's revealed that it's all Sei's plan, and Sei catches the ball again. He's like, you know what? Leave me the fuck alone, you annoying brother. Shoots the ball to end the half, and it gets saved by Gagamaru and Ryu. I feel like they captured this entire scene, this entire episode very, very well. You know what I mean? It felt like, oh shit, like, yo, bluelock just survived the first half from the skin of their teeth. You know what I mean? It really felt like that. And yo, I'm not gonna lie, I'm hyped for the next episode because you already know we're gonna get to see Itoshi Sei and Itoshi Rin's backstory, along with Shido eventually coming into the game. If you anime only thought this first half was really good, make sure to know that the second half is gonna be 10 times better. And honestly, I will say, this is definitely the best episode of Blue Lock Season 2 so far. In terms of direction, in terms of storyboard, in terms of use of the music, everything was better than the previous episodes. The animation, although, is around the same level, maybe even worse than some episodes. But then again, like I said, I'm not hating purely off of animation. The animation will ruin the atmosphere of the scenes. That's why I hate on the animation. Not only because the animation is just straight still frames, you know what I mean? And yeah, of course, I expected more going into Season 2, but it is what it is. As long as you capture the feel of some of these scenes, I'm perfectly okay with it. But yeah, guys, overall, I will give this episode a rating of 8.5 out of 10, making it the highest rated episode of all of Blue Lock Season 2 so far for me. What do you guys rate this episode? Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. We're almost at 4,000 subscribers. Every single one of you guys subscribing and liking the videos helps me out a ton. So please and thank you. Please do that. And I hope you guys all have a great day today. Bye-bye.